Alright, so this is the first goal in the New York City versus Philadelphia Union match. This one scored by Baribo in the 15th minute. And so we can see the Union have a corner kick right here. Kai Wagner's going to go ahead and play a in-swinging ball towards the near post. Jacob Glesnes, who's highlighted here on your screen, he's going to be the one that's going to run towards this near post. He has a lot of traffic to run towards in the little blue highlighted area. You can see all the New York City players playing zonal marking right here. You have one guy on the post, and then you have four defenders just defending their area inside this little section while everybody else is man marking. And so what the Union try to do right here on this play is Jacob Glesnes is going to run towards the near post, and we've seen the Union do a lot of these type of runs the last couple games now on set pieces, where they're hoping that Jacob Glesnes can win this flick one at the near post and then flick it one to either Baribo or Daniel Gazdag, who's inside that 6-yard box. And so we can see right here, Kai Wagner sends that ball towards near post, gets cleared away, not the greatest clearance. Baribo wins the header back into Baribo. Baribo's header is enough power on it as it beats Matt Freese and puts the Union up 1-0 15 minutes into this game. And this is exactly what the Union wanted to start this game. Getting the first goal like we've now seen in their last 3 games against New York Red Bulls, Inter Miami, and now New York City. Jim Curtin always talks about how this team isn't built from playing from behind, so it's always important for them to go and get that first goal. That's exactly what we've been seeing now here the last couple weeks. Again, not the greatest clearance by New York City. But there's a couple things I want to point out on this. By the time that Baribo heads this ball back into play, you have James Sands, who's keeping Baribo onside right here. But even if it wasn't James Sands keeping Baribo on, you can see highlighted right here, Tavon Gray just arms all wrapped up on Jacob Glesnes, keeping Baribo onside. There's no need for this. There's absolutely no need for Tavon Gray to get into a wrestling match with Jacob Glesnes, keeping him onside when your team had just cleared this ball away and now you're trying to get out of your own 18-yard box. It's not the greatest clearance, but look, you're going to cost your team a goal. If it wasn't for James Sands keeping him onside, then you would be the one that would be responsible for this goal happening. This is really, really poor from Tavon Gray. You need to take advantage of and just poor marking here by New York City on this set piece. This was the Union's first of 2 set-piece goals scored on the night. You can see just really, really good header there from Baribo. Puts it in the only place where he can put it, into that corner on the left-hand side of Matt Freese. Matt Freese cannot get to it. All right, so this is the second goal in the match. This one comes by Mikael Uhre in the 25th minute. This goal gives Mikael 3 goals in his last 3 matches. And this is good pressing here we're going to see from Liam Flock to force New York City to get rid of this ball really, really quickly. It's a really bad, poor giveaway. A ball into nobody. New York City try to switch the ball from the left to right, and the ball goes straight to Kai Wagner right here. Kai Wagner able to take a touch and then lift his head and play this ball forward to the Union's front 3. Huge mistake there by Thiago Martinez. Baribo is able to find Mikael Uhre with the first-time finish. And the Union, 2 goals in 25 minutes. 10 minutes separate the Union from the first goal to the second goal. Union all over New York City in this match. That's a huge mistake by Thiago Martinez. We saw over the weekend against Inter Miami a lot of mistakes by Miami in that game. The Union took advantage of one of them. Union start this game with another mistake by another team with New York City, and they take advantage of this huge mistake by New York City on the poor pass giveaway here that Kai Wagner intercepts. Has a lot of space just to take the touch, lift his head, and then the mistake by Martinez. You can see right here just pretty compact from the New York City defense and midfield, and the defenders are pushed pretty high up. But as soon as Kai Wagner wins this ball, he's able to bypass the midfield of New York City with ease because of how compact it is right here in the middle, which means that the Union's front 3 are all going to be on 1v1 opportunities. All 3 of those guys, as soon as they see Kai Wagner on the ball, they're all making those forward runs, which leaves you 1v1 against the defenders of New York City right here. So Kai Wagner going to play this ball forward. Huge mistake there by Martinez, and Baribo gets shut down pretty quick, but he's able to find Mikael, who slots it home first time. Huge mistake there by the captain, and this is good awareness by Baribo to know where Mikael is on the field. It's a great forward ball there, and I think a lot of this play has to do with just how quickly, as soon as the front three saw Kai Wagner on this ball, they're moving forward, and they're causing chaos to the back line in New York City. Union take advantage of a huge mistake in this game, but it's not going to be the only mistake by New York City. Alright, so this is the third goal in the match. This one comes by Daniel Gazdag to make the score 3-0 for the Union 31 minutes into this game. And so the Union had a free kick opportunity right here with Jacob Glesnes on the ball. He's going to go ahead and spray a long pass out wide to Kai Wagner here on this play. You can see long ball up to Kai Wagner. Wagner wins the header. First time cross by Jack McGlynn. Baribo wins the header. Matt Freese spills it in the back of the net by Daniel Gazdag. Like I mentioned, 3 goals, 31 minutes for the Union. The first time in their career that we've seen Daniel Gazdag, Baribo, and Mikael Uhre all score in the same game. Front team in fantastic form. Daniel Gazdag smiling, laughing right there. He knows that's a huge mistake by Matt Freese. He knows that he was gifted one there. But a couple things I want to point out right here. You can see in just how narrow that the back line is by New York City, giving Kai Wagner a whole bunch of space out wide. Jacob Glesnes realizes that, and so he sees, all right, we're going to go ahead and just play this ball out wide. Nobody's on Kai Wagner. New York City are too interested in watching in the middle of the field. I'm not sure what Tavon Gray, the right back there, is doing, looking inside as opposed to watching the ball go out wide. You have the two holding midfielders there, and James Sands and Keaton Parks. And so as soon as this ball gets played out wide to Wagner, you can see just the Union moving forward. And this is, in my opinion, the worst goal that New York City conceded on the night, just because it's lazy defending, lazy tracking. As soon as Wagner wins that header, as soon as Wagner gets out into space, you can see the Union moved 5 players forward, 4 players in the middle of the field. You have Bedoya out there, out wide. But the tracking by James Sands and Keaton Parks was unacceptable if you're a New York City fan on this play, because they allow Jack McGlynn, Keaton Parks specifically allows Jack McGlynn just to take this pass uncontested and play it first time across the box into Baribo. The Union took advantage all game long with New York City playing 1v1 against their front 2 strikers, and the Union are going to assume that they always are going to win that matchup with Baribo and Mikael Uhre. And so McGlynn plays this back post. Baribo wins it. Yes, huge mistake there by Matt Freese to spill this. But again, Daniel Gazdag shouldn't have been in this much space. It should have been tracking by James Sands. James Sands lets Daniel Gazdag just go uncontested from the start of this play to the finish of this game. Just caught ball watching, just lazy defending. Second mistake in this game by New York City. The Union take advantage of it, and they punish New York City. We didn't see this against Inter Miami, but glad to see the Union take their chances early on in this game, and they go up 3-0 because of it. Alright, so this is the 4th goal in the match. New York City finally got on the board right before halftime with Alonso Martinez to make the score 1-3 with a Philadelphia Union lead still intact. And so we can see New York City with the ball on the left-hand side of the field, the Union's right-hand side. New York City just being patient here, not forcing anything. James Sands on the ball here, going to go ahead and play it right back to Kevin O'Toole. O'Toole picks out the pass to Martinez. Martinez finishes in the back of the net after making a run in between Jacob Glesnes and Nathan Harriel. Nothing Andrew Rick could do there on that play. And when we go back and see this replay here, so a lot of people on social media blaming Nathan Harriel here on this goal. We'll go ahead and just look exactly what happened, slow it down a little bit. And so initially you can see it's a overload on the left-hand side by New York City where Olivier Bizot has 2 guys he has to guard. You can see that Keaton Parks has pulled Alejandro Bedoya out of position here. That overload in full effect here on the left-hand side where Olivier Bizot has to go against two guys, and so it's the ball and then another player. And by the time that James Sands plays this ball out to Kevin O'Toole, he's in enough space out wide where he can take a touch, lift his head, and cross this ball into Martinez. And you can see Martinez in the center of the field right there between Jacob Glesnes and Nathan Harriel. Seems like he's covered pretty well. The Union seem like, okay, it's two defenders against one attacker. Should be no issue whatsoever. But as soon as Martinez sees that this pass goes into O'Toole, he's going to go and start his run right between the two center backs. And for me, it's just a communication issue. Just goes right by Nathan Harriel. Jacob Glesnes, I think initially this was his guy, but as your two center backs, it's just a communication issue. I think Jacob Glesnes and Nathan Harriel are both to blame on this play. Yes, you have Jacob Glesnes goal side, which means that this should be Jacob Glesnes' attacker he needs to defend.